Just would like to offer a big shout out to Touchdown Digital for sponsoring this week's video. Well, good morning everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all fighting fit and well. Look, today I want to talk to you about a subject, and that subject is, or the name for this video is talent enough when it comes to photographers or photography? Over the years I've studied lots of well-known photographers, professional photographers and very, very good amateurs that have gone on to make a career out of landscape photography, all types of photography, sports photography, food photography, and have been able to go into the commercial world. Now, most of these photographers had one thing in common, and naturally it was talent. Now, I believe all human beings are born with some form of talent, but is talent enough to make you a really competent photographer? Now, there's 7 things that I think are very important to elevate yourself from where you are now to get you up to where you should be. And if you don't think you have enough talent to do that, well, I suggest you stick around and watch this video, because these 7 things that I'm about to talk to you about, I've actually put into practice and I'm still doing it today. And a lot of these things pertain to our normal life, with families, careers, hobbies, work. It encompasses a vast array of situations. So the very first thing I'm going to talk about is ambition. Now, ambition is, you've got to be ambitious about something. I mean, you look at the great people of the world. Take, for instance, Kay Cotty, the solo lady who sailed around the world in Blackmores. That was the name of the boat. And she had ambition. She wanted to do that. So as photographers, or as a photographer, you need to have ambition. You've got to be ambitious about what you want to do and what you want to get out of your photography. So ambition is very, very important. You've got to be ambitious to go out and, I really want to take that shot. I really want to make this the best. You've got to continually think about your photography and how you can improve. And you can really only do that if you have a strong ambition towards something. And if you're a photographer, gaining that ambition will help you greatly. The next one is passion. Now, passion is very similar to ambition, but not quite. You've got to be passionate about something, and naturally we're passionate about our photography. For me, I'm passionate about my personal photography, but with my professional photography, and that's how I make a living, it's a different type of passion. It's a business. So I have a business mind when I come to taking professional photographs or images for clients, but then I transfer that into my personal photography, and my passion is just getting out there and being involved and immersing yourself, or immersing myself in the landscape. So passion is very good. You've got to have passion for something. And if it's your photography, find the passion within that type, or the type of photography you want to do. Number 3 is confidence. There are a lot of people that are introverted. I get that totally. I know quite a lot of them, and that's just the way they are. That's the natural makeup. People like myself, I'm confident, I'm extroverted, I'll talk to anybody about anything, but don't let that stop you. If you're introverted or extroverted, you've got to have confidence in yourself. You've got to back yourself. And whenever time you pick up your camera, you want to make sure that you're confident enough that you're going to be able to get to that location, form some great shots, get your composition right, and create beautiful images. So you've got to be confident in yourself. With that, you will find that your photography will improve. Number 4, adaptability. Now, adaptability is the ability to adapt to all situations. Now, for argument's sake, this is my 10th week of lockdown here due to COVID in New South Wales. And I've been able to go out and shoot professionally for the last 3 weeks, but for my personal photography, we just can't do it. We can't travel. I can't travel anywhere 5 kilometres from where I'm sitting. So, but the adaptability, you have to adapt to whatever's around you. I mean, if you're out shooting and it starts to rain, why go home? Just go and sit in the car and wait for it to pass. But you've got to adapt to your conditions. People often say, oh, it's bad light today. Well, there's no such thing as bad light in photography. It's just bad compositional choices. So to adapt to the conditions that you're photographing in is very, very important. You have to learn to adapt very quickly to all situations that we face when we go out with our cameras. So adaptability is also very important. Next would be storytelling. Now, storytelling in our images is once again very important. When people look at your photographs or your images, you want to be able to tell a story within that frame, as if the people looking at your images are there, or they want to go there. Sure, you can do it in videos like this, but really storytelling for your images is, as I said, very important. You've got to be able to tell a story from the beginning of that image to the end of the image, just through one frame. People scan over the image, and that's why things like leading lines are very important. You're drawing the viewer into your image. So telling a story is very important. You can tell a story about a location with one or two photographs, because if it's you frame it right and everything's perfect, you are able to tell that story or convey that message to the viewer of your images. So trying to tell a story with your photographs or your images is also very important. Number 6, patience. Patience is, well, a bit hard for a lot of people. With the way we live these days, everything's fast. Everything's fast. We've got to have everything yesterday. But you've got to have patience with things. And with photography, you've got to be patient. You mightn't go out, well, you might go out, but mightn't come back with good images. Don't worry about that. You need patience to accept what's around you. Okay, the shots don't look good. I just wasn't on I didn't my game face on today. Don't worry about that. Have patience. Take your time. Slow down and have patience with your photography. Now, it's not all that important to go out and shoot 30 frames or 40 frames in 3 or 4 hours, only to obtain 1 or 2 good shots. I'd rather take my time, take 12 to 14 shots and have 6 really good keepers. So slowing down and having patience, especially with landscape photography, I think is super important. Having patience for your photography is, I think, probably one of the most important things that we should all obtain. The last one is discipline. Now, without discipline, you're not going to achieve the other 6 things that I've just spoken to you about. Discipline is, I think, probably under patience would be the most important thing with our photography, both professionally, commercially, and personally. So discipline starts from the time you start planning your shoot or your location, your equipment, your gear, your clothing to wear on the day to suit the environment. You have to be very disciplined to achieve anything in this life, really, and it's no different with our photography. Without discipline, you won't achieve the other 6 things, and you just have to rely on your natural talent. But you can help natural talent by encompassing those 7 things that I've just spoken to you about. But discipline, I believe, is probably 1, maybe 2 to the equation here above. Is talent enough? Discipline can be applied in many facets of our photography. Cleaning our equipment after every shoot, vacuuming out your camera bags, because even though the camera bag's sitting in a cupboard, it's collecting dust. So after every shoot, vacuum your camera bag out. make the cleaning process of your equipment a disciplinary thing. Looking after your equipment is another side of discipline. Respecting your environment is another way of showing discipline. And having discipline in yourself. In other words, right, I'm going to get up very, very early. I'm going to leave home at 3:30 in the morning to go do some golden hour or blue hour shots, sunrise shots, or late at night when you're going out to do astrophotography. You're probably up at 1 o'clock in the morning. This is discipline, because in life, what I've found, that without discipline, you don't achieve much. So discipline, as well as patience with our photography, is very, very important indeed. Now, just to end this video, I have a couple of things that I'll be demonstrating in the next couple of weeks. And the first one is this. It's the Samyang 14mm f2.8 extra wide angle lens. Samyang 14mm 2.8 extra wide angle lens. Now this particular lens is a manual lens. It's you can buy it in autofocus, but I love manual photography equipment. It reminds me of the old days. You set your aperture, everything's manual in this lens, but I will go through it in the demonstration. Just a quick hint, when you put this lens on the front of the camera thinks there's no lens attached, but it is absolutely a bottler. This has a cult following, this lens, and if you're a landscape photographer and you don't want to spend heaps of money, I suggest you have a look at the Samyang or the Canon 14mm f2.8. That's it there. I'll be doing a product review on that in the next week or so. I've had it for some time and I do use it, but I also have the 11-24 f4 Canon L lens, which is $4,000. This comes in at $550, and the difference is, well, I'll let you make up your mind when I show you the images. And the next piece of kit that I'll be demonstrating for you the next week or so is this. This is the Benro tripod. I've already done a video on this. This is a great tripod. Seriously, I'd say probably the best tripod I've ever owned. It's just so durable. It's all carbon fiber. It's absolutely a beautiful piece of equipment to use, this Benro tripod. However, I've taken the Benro ball head off and I'm using this, the Benro geared head. Now, this geared head is just fantastic to use for your landscape photography. It just makes your composition so much easier, especially with small increments, but I will go through this with you on the next video, and that is the Benro geared head. Absolutely fantastic. I've had this some time. I've used it every now and again. Probably the last 6 occasions out in the landscape I've used the gear head. I've taken the ball head off. I actually use a Manfrotto 3-way gear head in the studio here and for my commercial work, and this has been a backup, but I think moving forward I'll leave this 3-way gear head on this Benro tripod. Just an amazing piece of equipment to use, the Benro 3-way gear head. But keep an eye out for those 2 videos. They'll be coming up very shortly. So that's it. If you've got any questions or anything you want to know about this, about is talent enough, please put your questions down below and I'll definitely get back to you as soon as I can. But other than that, that's it. We're still in lockdown here in New South Wales. It's due to end very shortly, thank God. I've got a plan already on the computer here as to what my next few shoots will be, so keep an eye out for them. If you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button, the bell next door so you don't miss anything. So that's it for another episode of Sniper Photography, and as I always say, be nice to yourself, family and friends, but most of all, you keep smiling and keep shooting. Bye for now.